Helping each swimmer improve sometimes requires creating multiple versions of the same set or even creating different sets. If you have a wide range of ability levels, this is a reality that you face. Let's take a look at some strategies for running training sessions where everyone's needs are actually met while still being able to coach effectively. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. A coach recently asked me for help with writing workouts where there is a lot going on. Because there were multiple sets happening at the same time, the coach was spending most of the session explaining the sets rather than watching them swim and helping them become successful. How can we still give swimmers what they need while still coaching effectively and not losing our minds? Great question, because it's critical to individualize while possible, but most swimmers are still going to need some level of supervision in order to get the most out of the workout. Let's go over some options for ensuring individuality while still being effective as a coach. Some of these are general guidelines and others are specific strategies. Which option you choose will depend on your specific situation. Of course, there's multiple options available and you can combine the different strategies in different ways as well. First of all, give them stuff that they're familiar with. Generally speaking, when your attention is going to be spread thin, it makes sense not to introduce different activities that require a whole lot of guidance and information. It's just asking for trouble. Instead, I try to give them activities that they already know how to do pretty well, and I give them activities that they're already comfortable with. This requires a lot less oversight and allows us to spend more time helping swimmers learn rather than helping them overcome the frustration of trying something new. You're much more likely to get frustrated when you're trying something new and they're not picking it up as much as you'd like, so avoid that situation in the first place. Stick to what they know. Next, I always try to give them stuff that they're bought into. It's really helpful to give them activities that they like or believe really help them. If you're trying to run 5 different workouts with activities that swimmers hate, it's going to be an uphill battle. Those are the workouts that tend to need a lot of supervision, so I try to reserve that type of work for when I can be engaged with all the swimmers. Instead, I try to perform work that they're motivated to do, whether it's because they enjoy it or because they know it will help them. Then it becomes a lot easier for them to stay on task, and that's one less concern that we have to worry about. Instead, we can focus on coaching. Next up, keep it simple. Keep the different workouts simple. If the sets are really complicated, swimmers are going to have a ton of logistical questions, or they're just not going to bother you and they're going to mess the set up without asking what to do. In either case, not good. I always try to save the complicated workouts for when my attention isn't pulled in 5 different directions. Give them work they're familiar with and keep the sets basic. It removes unnecessary distractions. Next up is write it down. Typically, I prefer to give sets verbally because it allows me to adjust as I go. When there's lots of different workouts going on, this is a situation where I'll make an exception. I want it in front of them so that they can figure out what to do rather than having to ask me what to do. You want to be coaching, not micromanaging the swimmer's sets. Or worse, having to deal with it when they start doing the sets incorrectly. Next up is be conservative. In these situations, I always try to give them sets that I'm very sure they're going to be successful with. If they're really struggling, it's much more likely that they're going to shut down if you're not there to help them through it. And when there's a lot going on, the chances that we'll be able to help them through it go down. To combat this, I try to keep the challenges as manageable as possible to set them up for success. This will help them stay engaged, and then again, you can spend your time coaching rather than managing. Next up is using altered versions of the same set. From a practical standpoint, whenever possible, writing different versions of the same set is a really effective strategy. That way, everyone is doing something very similar, but it's scaled to their ability levels. This greatly simplifies the process while still giving swimmers what they need. You can change the intervals. You can have swimmers do shorter distances on the same intervals. You can have swimmers go 1 fast, 1 easy, or 3 fast, 1 easy instead of all fast. Or you can change the skill they're working on. There are plenty of ways to challenge swimmers appropriately using the same basic set. Logistically, this is probably the easiest way to do it. It's not always possible, but when it is, it's an option I take. The good news is that small changes can make a big difference, and so it becomes a very effective strategy. Lastly, I always try to remind myself to stay cool. Inevitably, the more you need swimmers to stay focused and stay on task, the harder it is for them to do it. Keeping your cool, rolling with the punches goes a long way to helping everything run smoothly. Things will probably go wrong. It's okay. Make adjustments and get things back on track. Running different workouts at the same time can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be chaos. And if you want as many swimmers as possible to go as fast as possible, sometimes it's something that has to be done. With the right approach, you can get the work done without losing your mind. For more on how to individualize drills rather than sets, check out the video here.